You are still onto the live studios of Nigerian Decides, reaching you from your television of choice, independent television. We are still taking a kind of review of the last elections that had to do with the presidential elections, and we kind of review of the National Assembly elections too, and we'll take a kind of preview of the forthcoming House of Assembly elections and that of the governorship elections in some states across the country. But we have somebody in the house that I would love to introduce himself. He's an engineer, but my brother, good morning.
Thank you very much.
So if I ask, should I ask the first question? What is your name?
Engineer Sebo Fidelis.
Welcome to the program. You know our name, Ameze. The first round of elections are behind us and all of that. We Nigerians were, some of us, or most people were shocked yesterday when we heard that, or the other day when we heard that the elections that has to do with the House of Assembly and that of the governorship elections have been postponed. So what's your take on it, the postponement of the elections?
First, I want to thank Nigerians for coming out to vote in the last general elections. I also want to thank the electoral body who did everything possible to make sure that election was possible. It was not short of expectation. But then again, some of us were shocked the way and the outcome of the elections. Because if you look at it, the elections defined itself. If you look at the pattern of vote, that those who were strong in some certain region, the region didn't disappoint them.
Okay.
If you look at the east, the pattern of vote. If you look at the north, the pattern of vote. If you look at the west, the pattern of vote, even the south. It was much expected. So I want to thank all the electorate and even the umpire body, which is the INEC. Going further, I was also not surprised by the postponement of the elections from 11th to on the 18th, because there are logistic issues and some other technological issues that had to be put in place. The beavers didn't come from heaven. They are man-made and they are technologies. And you will not expect that INEC should go and purchase other beavers again for another round of elections, which will be too burdensome and expensive. So what they just needed to do is to clear the beavers from the existing data and make sure you can accept another information.
Clearing the data, don't you think that would be tantamount to another round of crisis? Because one thing we know is that everything that has to do with the so-called the presidential election, you understand, they are stored in that beavers machine. And they want to use it in courts of law, so at least prove their cases. Because not only one case that we have on the courts now, almost all of them, they have cases
in the 36 states of Nigeria and FCT inclusive, and all the polling units, it is expected that all political parties, the 18 political parties who participated in this election effectively should have agents. And these agents, by law, is expected to have a copy, hard copies of their results, which reflects in what is in the beavers, the ballot papers, which is physical, and the result sheets. So if we have beavers cleared, assuming, you have the result sheet, this the ballot paper, you can marry them. You can marry them.
Okay, anyway, let me just quickly chip in this before maybe you continue. Maybe I may take the next question. It's like this. In the social media, we saw some result sheets that were mutilated, not even, they were mutilated, signed, resigned, figures were altered and all of that. Don't you think that that would bring another cause for concern?
I like the word social media, which is utterly out of control.
Okay.
I wish you were telling me ITV, this day, Vanguard, which is a conventional and constitutional media houses and papers. I will take it serious. Okay. But when you say social media, in the comfort of your toilet, when you are even doing anything, you can deal out any information. So we will not take social media for serious.
Okay.
What we need to take for serious is the results from the polling unit, vis-a-vis the result, the ballot paper, and the beavers. Now, if the court in their own wisdom says beavers can be reconfigured, what I think they are looking at is that all political party has agents in all the units in Nigeria, which are supposed to have their certified results. And the ballot papers are physical. They are still in the custody of INEC. And the court has granted these political parties to
access to the
access to
materials.
So when you have 3 things and you are taking one of equal,
okay,
and you are taking one away, you still have 2. I think it's still majority.
Okay, now you made mention of the fact that you weren't surprised when the elections were postponed to the 18th of March. Do you think that it will be any better than it was on the 25th of February, given the fact that they are having 1 more week to actually prepare for this election? Do you think there will be a change, or it might be the same story we will be talking about?
That is on the side of INEC, right?
Yes.
For me, I think even before now, INEC has the capacity to even conduct the elections tomorrow, on the 11th. But the reason they wanted an extension is because some persons went to court, stopping them from reconfiguring the beavers machine. And they went back to court to ask, oh, please, if we do not reconfigure, we cannot continue with this election. And that judgment came very late. What they were supposed to start doing by last week, they just gave them a nod day before yesterday to start doing it. So INEC now needed, it is not that they are not prepared. INEC are prepared by the information available to us. The only reason they needed to now postpone these elections would just be preparing the beavers properly for better functioning. Because when you overload the machine, a computer, what it suggests is that it may perform poorly, slowly or otherwise. Now, when they clear it and reconfigure, it means that they are refreshing it and it can perform optimally. So for the preparedness of INEC, I think I don't have doubt about that. They will also deliver as they delivered before. If you look at this election, sir, even some governors couldn't win their senatorial bid. Imagine Edo, 18 local government. A governor won 18 local government to become a governor. He's now running a section to become a senator and lost. And somebody will come up and say the election was rigged, a sitting governor. A lot of sitting governors lost their senatorial bid to go to the Senate. So it shows that the elections went the way the people wanted it, vis-a-vis the manner of vote and the patterns of vote, where some powerful people lost their states and every other thing. So it shows that we should have some confidence in INEC. When 2 people fight, one must win. That you didn't win today does not mean you will not win tomorrow. INEC was all good as at a month ago. INEC suddenly became bad only last Wednesday.
No, because promises were made, and for some people, those promises weren't kept.
Yes, promises were made.
Like transmitting the result electronically.
You see. Let's be very frank here. If you go to the Electoral Act properly, there is no line in that Electoral Act that suggests that the moment you vote, transmit. It was just our personal interpretation. What
No, if you say personal interpretation,
yes,
maybe I need to come in here.
Yes.
Festus Okoye, at different fora, said they were going to transmit the result electronically.
Yes,
Mahmoud Yakubu himself
said so.
You know,
the result was transmitted electronically. The result is the result, the result sheet that was snapped and transmitted electronically. There was no time they said individual result will be transmitted electronically. Go and go through it. Even the Senate president said it even during the election, that they have gone through it, that there was no place in the electoral act.
If you are saying the Senate president, you could be biased in this.
Okay, because it's partisan.
Because
it's partisan.
It can be partisan.
Partisan.
We are talking about people that are in the mainstream of the elections. Because we have 18 people that...
For me, I had the information before the elections.
Whether we like it or not, the truth is that when you go out there and look at the temperature of things out there, you know that so many people are not at ease. They're not at peace with what happened. So many, whether I like it or not, even if it's just 4 people out of 10, and it could be more than that, they are not happy at the outcome of the election. And you are saying we should still have trust Because people are having trust issues with INEC.
Well,
they have trust in INEC in the next election.
The 18 political parties that participated in this election were guided by one body, which is INEC. It is only INEC that can answer this question.
Okay.
And I'm also aware that, allegedly, that the INEC server was attacked. Probably. Maybe that's the reason.
It's like you're the only person that is privy to this information.
Oh, yes, not only me.
Okay.
Not only me.
Okay.
Though on social media.
But you're asking me not to.
Yes, I said
but you said we should not.
The portal was attacked, allegedly. Attacked. And probably that's why maybe the body didn't send the information to that extent. But again, let's again be frank. The issues are clear here now. If you have agents at the polling units and there are physical paper to be counted and your agent so signed that these papers have been counted, do you again need to even trust an electronic device where you are a physical human being? I have trusted you to say, go to this place for me and look out for me. And you were there. Things happened and you signed that these things happened. And you are now relying on an electronics to now again authenticate what happened. Whereas even this electronic was built by that human being that was standing there in flesh and blood who signed these documents. What we are supposed to look at is this. If there are some political parties who have no capacity to provide agents across polling units in the entire country, it is again not the fault of the man who lost or who won, or not the fault of the electoral body. But I am afraid, because if the principals of these people who says they are challenging the cases in court, that this election was mad, it's okay. But I do not know how you are going to now bring a man who won the election. By example now, Neda, who won his senatorial bid here in Edo South. You want him to go to court and invalidate his victory. I am afraid.
No, so I don't know how you, I don't know the correlation between Neda's case and that of
no, what I'm saying is,
the presidential election.
What I'm saying is, yeah, of course, because they are going to bring witnesses across units. If not units in a
unit, they think they have
questionable issues. Right. No, we also, if you are saying that there's a problem in this unit, there's no problem. The other party can also say there's a problem in this unit where you won. So we are going to test the integrity of the vote in the East, test the integrity of the vote in the North, and every other place where you have strength and weaknesses. And these are the issues. So it's laughable though when people feel that you have to win all through. Elections and fights is that you win sometimes, you lose sometimes, but reasonably, irrespective of the feelings of the people. Like you said, out of 10, you can just have 8 who are not happy about the outcome of the result. But we also know
it cannot be just out of 10.
Okay, we also know that it's going to come to this end because first, some candidates were more prepared than others in counting and talking about vote, while others relied on the noise. I have a lot of friends who supposedly were to vote for a certain political party, but they didn't even come back to the village. I didn't see them. When I called, they said, I'm not going to come. But they were all over the social media. Imagine if you have like that, and at the end of the day, they are more in the social media.
So you're talking about voter apathy now.
Yes, of course. There was obviously voter apathy, because when you should see that Bola Ahmed Tinubu pulled 8.7 million thereabout, which is thereabout the poorest even since 2019.
I think we have a total of about less than 30 million.
We have had a presidential candidate who lost election with over 12 million votes before. Yeah. But right now, the winner had just 8-point-something million votes. So there was high level of voter apathy.
I want to believe that maybe what we had before then was a case of people coming out to maybe overvoting things.
Exactly.
So this is what Beavers has come to correct.
Thank you very much.
You recall in the last election, if I'm not mistaken, we having some people in Kano State, Kaduna State. Yes. You understand? We had over 1-point-something million, to one party. We had up to 2 million votes. You understand? That over 2 million people came, accredited, and they voted. No void votes and the rest of that. So Beaver's machine came to address all of that. So I want to believe that it's the same voter party that we had yesterday that still came up, that still raised ugly head in the last election.
What the Beavers did was to scare people away from overvoting and double voting, where some persons will have 3 voters card, they vote here and vote here and vote here. Now, like I experienced it in my village too. We used to pull out a lot of votes. I don't know how it comes, but only but recently, less than 3 hours, we're almost done with the election. Why suggest that the fear that if you vote twice, they will be cancelled.
Yes.
So they wanted their vote to count. They voted just once. And you see that it became very seamless and easy. And that is why, again, the issue of voter apathy came up this Naira policy. I also have some friends who couldn't even travel home because they had soft copy of money and they couldn't
soft copy of money.
Soft copy of money.
No hard copy.
Yes, they couldn't get the hard copy to do transportation. So a lot of them could also go back home, which also result in this voter apathy that dropped. But again, the election showed itself. A winner has emerged, and INEC has so announced.
Let's come home to the forthcoming House of Assembly elections across the country and the governorship elections in some states. Don't you think the postponement of this election could have some kind of adverse effects, maybe on the electorate, on the gladiators, especially when you know that in election in Nigeria is always capital intensive?
For us in my party, we are not happy that the elections was postponed. Not at all. But it's an advantage to some persons who are not prepared to put their house in order properly. So for whatever has advantage, it has disadvantage. But again, a week, 7 days difference will not be too much. I wish it was a month or thereabout, which is impossible. 7 days, anybody who was expected to win can actually consolidate again. While those who are not prepared can get themselves better prepared. I can assure you that the way the first election went, that is how it's also going to go, because the INEC will still come with their beavers. People will still vote in a pattern of convention, the way you are convinced. And let me tell you, as at yesterday, electorate has already made up their mind whom and who not to vote for.
I don't understand. You took a part of the electorate or what?
I am an electorate.
But don't you think it's possible for someone to change your mind within this next 1 week?
Oh, yes. And you see, like I agree with you, that votes are directed. Votes are directed on the basis of positive and super argument. When you are able to convince the person, this is the reason why you should vote. If we come back home, I am afraid in Edo, opinion has been formed already in Edo. Opinion has been formed. What we are only looking at now is alignment. If you look at the pattern of voting in Edo in the last election, we had 3 major political parties.
True.
The APC, the PDP, and the Labour Party. That is now the new bride of both APC and PDP.
You think NNPP should not occupy space in this your calculation?
I said Edo.
Okay.
Edo.
Wow.
I said Edo. Now in Edo, what the APC and PDP are trying to do now is to just get a bite from the Labour Party, believing that a lot of Labour Party in the 18 local government, Labour Party has no, they don't have all the candidates except very few local government. Like in my local government now, like they have about 12.
So you need to understand.
Like in my local government now, Owa is local government. We don't have anybody running for Labour Party in the Edo State House of Assembly.
Okay.
So what the two parties will now need to do is to appeal to those who voted the Labour Party and say, please, come and vote for me, otherwise you waste your vote. But I can assure you again that because of the way Nigeria is configured, people will still rather vote the Labour Party and say, I want to win my vote. Because they're diverse.
Even when they don't have a candidate.
Even when they don't have a candidate. Because they're diverse for both parties, APC and PDP. Now, the next election in Edo is going to be a peculiar one because of interest. First, we are not voting for a governor. We have a staggered election in Edo. We are not voting the governorship. We are not doing governorship election. Now we are concentrating only on the House of Assembly. And because of what happened in the recent past about the House of Assembly, the election is going to be a bit It's going to be peculiar. I don't want to say...
And this is a peculiarity, I really don't understand.
Yes.
You use that word peculiar.
There is high level of competition.
Okay.
The competition is between the APC and the PDP because of what happened in the last elections and swearing in and all of that. You know, the swearing in is shrouded in semantic ambiguity. It depends on how you want to interpret it. The man who is on this side will interpret it this way. The man who is on this side will interpret. But in fairness, we all knew that it was politics that played out. And we knew what played out. So the 24 House of Assembly.
24 seats in the House of
The
Assembly.
24 seats of the House of Assembly.
In the states.
The governor has no reason not to have majority. Because as a sitting governor, you need the House of Assembly to run your administration effectively. When you need to send them bills and you need their cooperation to pass these bills so that you can effectively govern the state. In the other hand, if those who are against the governor, against the governor's political party, wants to get the majority, then you can see that if you look at the pattern of vote again in the last election, Edo Central for the first time had a divide against PDP since 1999. They voted APC and had a senator from the other side. Edo North, the same thing. Then the only area which is Edo South, where maybe the PDP would have had their grip, the Labour Party scattered it and had it. So now if a sitting governor in a certain political party in PDP has no Senate, what it suggests is that the next, on the 18th, is going to be they are going to come out with full force. When I use the word full force, to canvass for vote, I'm not talking about violence. They are seriously canvassing for vote. But the other parties are also not sleeping. They are also canvassing for vote. That's why I'm saying that on the 18th is a peculiar day to determine the destiny of Edo for a better legislation or otherwise.
Before you walked into the studio, I was sharing with Ameze on the importance of this election to us all, because I recall just the way I asked her the question, or the way we shared on the question, same thing, the same way I want to present it to you. Governor Baseki have been moving from market to market, place to place, canvassing for votes. Former governor of the state, Adams Oshomole, you see him in almost all the streets in Benin, canvassing for votes. But for the postponement of this election, Obi was supposed to be in town yesterday, you understand, to come and tell the Edo electorate why they should vote for his party, the Labour Party. I don't understand, why is this election so important to almost everybody that Obi decided to jettison whatever he was pursuing the court and say he must come to Edo State? Why is it that Oshomole, that was in nowhere, was not seen before today, is almost everywhere being seen now, canvassing for votes? Why is it that the governor that we know always like working from the comfort of his office, at times you wake up and see what he has done, decided to be seen in almost every room in Edo State?
If you leave the hand of a monkey in the pot of soup for too long, it becomes a human hand.
I don't understand what you are saying.
It becomes a human hand. Like you said now, the energy the governor is using now to canvass for votes, probably if he had deployed that energy in the presidential election, the obedient movement wouldn't have been able to soar so high. You will ask yourself, why that energy? Like you said, I always saw Adams Oshomole in Obage village. I don't know if he went to other places. If Oshomole will now leave his senatorial district to come to Edo South and canvass for vote, it also suggests that the obedient movement in Edo South is a problem to them. If Peter Obi is coming to talk to the...
Was to come,
to talk to the obedient, he's coming to consolidate. If you look at these two things now, the PDP would rather want to even have obedient rather than having the APC. Why the APC too would rather want to have the obedient rather than having the PDP. Now, the beautiful bride now is the obedient. the reason for this, we all know that 4 years ago, something happened in Edo that seems like a political battle between the governor and Adams Oshomole, where 14 members were allegedly not sworn in, while some other quarter believes that they are absconded.
But did not present themselves for swearing in.
We cannot go deep into that discussion.
Okay.
Because if we had to go deep, I know too much about that.
Okay.
First, the argument is simple. That the 14 of them, the argument is that there was no proclamation. The governor didn't proclaim the house.
Okay.
That is the argument.
Anyway,
I
think we need to pause this argument and we'll leave the pause later after this short break. Okay. You understand? So we can put some things in order. We're taking a short break now. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us. It's still the Nigerian Decide Studios from Independent Television. Don't go anywhere. We are staying in the studios of Nigerian Decide, and we have engineer Fidelis Isegbe in the house. We are taking a kind of, we are reviewing the last House of Assembly election that we had here in Edo State, and trying to put it side by side with the forthcoming elections, the House of Assembly elections. We are still with you.
Yeah, we are doing that because we are struggling to know why these gladiators are everywhere seeking for votes. So we are now looking at the baseline, the past, to say probably this is why they are on the street, in the marketplaces and all that, seeking for votes. Like I said, the 14 members believed and argued that the governor didn't proclaim the house. Some people will defer to the argument because the inauguration was held, according to them, in an unholy hour, on the 17th of June. And the proclamation letter was eventually published in the Nigeria Observers on the 19th, 2 days later. And the Oxford meaning of, dictionary Oxford meaning of proclamation is public announcement. Check it. Okay. Public announcement. Proclamation. Public announcement. If you eventually made it public on the 19th.
Anyway, don't you think we should dissipate our energy more on the forthcoming election?
Yes.
Than dwelling.
What we are doing is, why are they on the street struggling for vote?
Okay.
It is what happened in the past. Both of them are trying to balance now so that it will not happen again.
Okay.
Because those that were shot out, allegedly, from swearing in, the people believe that if they come back, they are coming for vengeance. Believe. But then again, the other people are also saying, no, we are only saying, our party gave us mandate again, we are coming back to the house. But if I was the governor, I would prepare myself. Because if we had a fight before, and I defeated you, we are now having a second fight.
The second round, the same fight.
Oh yes, the same fight. And we have to prepare better. Because if you are coming to bite my nose. And that is why you see the gladiators are on the street, going from market to market, street to street, and other asking for votes. If it happens that the governor or the PDP has majority on the 18th, the other side are also afraid that what happened 4 years ago may likely happen. Then on the other side, if the APC claims the majority of the seats, the PDP will now say, okay, they are coming for what? Vengeance. That is why you see it very tight.
What about the third force, the Labour Party? What if they come in? What's the implication on that?
I am struggling not to, you see, we know much about the Labour Party and the House of Assembly ticket that they have in their hands now. And because there might be nobody to debunk it, I have a friend who allegedly, that they say the governor bought the form for him in Labour Party then, why they were still afraid that they would not have their way in PDP.
That allegation is neither here nor there.
I said allegedly.
Okay.
Allegedly. So if that is actually true, what it suggests is that the ticket in the hands of the Labour Party is also a ticket in PDP. So when you look at it, and that is why the APC, they are coming out very strong to make sure that their candidates emerge in the next elections. Why the government is also very, very working so hard so that these people will not come for vengeance. But then again, we are talking about the House of Assembly here. The legislative arm of government is to make laws. What I feel that will be important to the 24 persons who are contesting now in various political parties is to think about the bills that they will pass in the House that will better the lot of people, both NMPP, PDP, APC in Edo.
I was even coming to that area because it's like the way you are putting the whole thing, it's like they are going out there for a war. You understand? So from the spoils of this war, how is it going to benefit the electorate? How is it going to benefit the average Edo man? Because whether we like it or not, the way they are going about it, if we decide to ride on the back of what you are saying, they are fighting a war, in quotes now. So there are always spoils when it comes to from the wars. So how is the average Edo man going to benefit from this spoils of the war?
It's unfortunate that there might be no benefit, but I have interfaced with lots of candidates from my political party, and I'm very aware that they are not going for war. They are concerned about making laws that will better the laws of Edo. Or if peradventure a man has murdered sleep, is it not Macbeth in that book? He murdered sleep and slept no more. If peradventure you have murdered sleep and you are unable to sleep, it is not the fault of Sadu or Ameze. It is because you have on your own murdered sleep and you can no longer sleep. For me, our party, the 24 candidates we have across board, I have had the opportunity to interface with about 18 of them. What they are concerned about is going to the House, righting the wrongs by making laws that will better the laws of Edo people. Or if there is a fear in a certain quarter, maybe the quarter knows what they have done in the past, which I may not know. But the ones I have interfaced with, they are prepared to go to the House and make law and right the wrongs.
Amazing.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask that same question about this issue, because he made mention of vengeance quite a lot. You said some people may believe that one party is going back there, or if they get in power, they would go back there because they want to carry out vengeance. Now, why do we have this mindset of, because I did not get it the first time, when I go the next time I must deal with everybody that was against me? If the going into power is supposed to benefit the people, because government is supposed to be for the people, if you're supposed to be benefiting the people, why go there for your own selfish reasons? Why go there for your own emotional reasons? You're upset that you did not win the last time, or something happened to you and you were in quotes rigged out of it. Why go there again if your concern should be about the people you want to serve? Why go there with that mindset that you're going to carry out vengeance in the first place?
Like I said before, the 24 members of my political party are not going to the Edo State House of Assembly for vengeance. It is only a certain quarter that is afraid that when they come, they might come for vengeance. First, we are still going to have Governor Godwin Obaseki as a sitting governor who has the almighty power, the almighty executive powers. The legislators are only to make laws. So I think the convenience Obaseki is looking for is to have an assembly that will cooperate with him to make laws that will better Nigeria. And for my party, I also think they are coming in to also want to make laws that will better the people. So the fight of war, vengeance, is just a speculation in the minds of people. But like I said, if you have murdered sleep and you are unable to sleep, it's nobody's fault.
I don't know who you
are. But then again,
I don't know who you are calling the murderer now.
On the other side,
I don't know who you are calling
on the other side,
the murderer now.
If you feel you have been offended and you are coming for vengeance, you should also know that you don't have monopoly. Monopoly is not just for, and everybody has powers. But my happiness would be to have a vibrant Edo assembly where nobody has a clear cut of majority, where we could have superior arguments, where these will be debated on the floor of the house, where you need to lobby another party to have a majority to pass bill, not an overwhelming majority, and begin to threaten maybe the executive, or the executive have the majority and begin to threaten the opposition. I want a certain balance where the people will go there and begin to lobby A, B, C to have majority to make sure their bills will go through. That is the kind of assembly I am looking up to. Okay. And if peradventure, the way the game is tailored now, the parties are able to bring A, B, C, which is now the major parties are the Labour, the APC, and the PDP. They're able to work properly to make sure that no political party has overwhelming majority. Yes. That you need to talk to party B to come to your side to be able to pass a bill. Then we will now have a vibrant legislative arm of government. But otherwise, if peradventure one party is able to outsmart the other, one will do buga for the other. Okay. So it is no longer somebody's fault.
You know what? In the House of Representatives, we have as much as eight political parties controlling the House now. You understand? 8 political parties. Somebody said, describe it as a house of rainbow. Rainbow colors and the rest. At the Senate, we have 7. Yeah. You understand? So should we have, so I think maybe I was saying something like that. Should we have a house, a House of Assembly that has maybe up to 4 different political parties in the House, even if it's just at least one from the order, from maybe the list of them. I think we should have a vibrant House. But that notwithstanding, the 18th of March is around the corner. We are talking about next Saturday, not tomorrow, the other Saturday. What should the Edo man be thinking? How should they pattern his votes? I want you to remove, political bias from this. Just try to see how you can put the cards on the table. How should he pattern his votes?
You see, when you are canvassing for vote, put the cards on the table, face them up. Don't turn them so that, don't ensure them in ambiguity and people cannot interpret. Put the cards on the table, face them up. If you look at the pattern of vote in the last election, if it goes by that way, which I know it may not likely go, if it goes by that way, we have 2 parties in the assembly, Labour and APC. Okay. If it goes by that way. Because I do not will return the entire APC, if it goes by that way. Edo Central, we go by APC. Then Edo South, Labour. But I'm afraid things might likely change this time. Removing political party sentiment. There is nothing you can do in Edo North. Edo North will return APC.
You think so?
Oh yes, I know so. If you come to the South, where the PDP, they are working very assiduously, they might be able to break into the ranks of the Labour Party and take some. This again in Edo Central and take some. If that happens, be sure that the legislators will now go for proper lobbying, which is the real game of legislation. Lobbying another party to make sure that your bills goes through. If that happens, there will be a certain level of balance. Nobody will be so confident and sleep and say, well, wake up tomorrow, I'll just call so person, we'll get to the house, this is done. Nobody will sleep. There will be phone calls, lobbying this to join me, lobbying this to join this. But if the PDP, they are unable to break the ranks of Labour Party here in the South, if you look at Ovia, Dennis won Ovia. Okay. What he suggests, if he goes by the way he went before, what he suggests is that Ovia Northeast 1 and 2, we go for APC. If we go by the last election. Meaning, in Edo South, APC is already having some. Edo North returns the entire. The Edo Central returns the entire. It means that APC will likely have majority in the House, which is not healthy for democracy and not healthy for parliamentarian business. I wish that the PDP can work better so that they can have a good number.
Anyway,
so that they can balance.
You are not a member. You are not a member of the PDP.
No, I'm not. I said I wish they could.
You understand?
I am only envisaging a vibrant house.
I believe they have a trump card that is on that day. You may not. No. You only know. Somebody said you only seen who you are seeing, but you don't know the people that are looking at you that are seeing you. Because there are some people that look, they don't even see. You understand? So it's possible that the PDP will come with their own trump card of that.
Oh yes, like I said,
do what they want to do.
Like I said,
right.
In a donut. Except something happens tomorrow. As of today.
And anything can happen.
Yes.
Anything can happen in politics.
As of today. Except something happens tomorrow. As of today.
Anything can happen in politics.
As of today.
Right.
There is nothing the PDP will do.
Let's not forget so soon that even in Edo Central, that place used to be controlled by the PDP.
Oh yeah.
Something happened.
Something happened.
So something can still happen.
If we discuss the factors that happen,
even your so-called stronghold that you think is APC stronghold, they don't know.
They can break through the ranks. They can break through the ranks, but I am afraid. You see, you
don't need to be afraid.
I am afraid. You see, let's be very frank now.
Okay.
If you look at the body movement of the Edo people now, as much as they have problem with both APC and PDP, that made them defer to the Labour Party, that vote was for Obi and not for Labour Party.
Which is where I was about to go to.
Was for Obi and not for Labour Party. And that is why both APC and PDP now they are telling the Obi don't come out to. When I come, make we do our own. Make we come, make we do our own.
Anyway, make we do our own now. Just to use your word. We'll take a very short break now. We'll come back. Don't go anywhere. The name of the program is Nigerian Decides, and we are still looking at what is going to happen on the 18th of March. Stay with us. We had to take that break to allow another of our guests to join us. Hope Enogeu. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
You know, we are going to give you the next 5 minutes or so. Maybe you can talk to us on your expectations for the 2023 House of Assembly elections. They're just about a week from today in Edo State.
Okay, thank you very much. Sorry for coming late. Our expectations are very high. In the sense that I believe that the incumbent governor, Governor Godwin Obaseki, have done well for the people. You know, so the people, they are willing to vote the PDP, and because of the governor antecedent. So, looking at our expectations, I so much believe that it's going to be a very free and fair, and the people of Edo State will be willing to vote their conscience.
Somebody was telling us that they are trying to put the popularity of the governor to tests in this election, because just like we have been sharing before you came in, we have never seen the governor move from door to door canvassing for a vote like this. We have never seen the governor move from one market to the other, asking for people to vote. So we want to find out, why is this election so important to Governor Godwin Obaseki?
Okay. You said you have never seen the governor moving from door to door, market to market, to campaign.
Well, just take the question, why is the election this important to your party, the PDP? In Edo State?
All elections are very important. All elections were very important to the governor. The fact that you never see him on a door-to-door campaign in the previous elections, it was as a result of his outing with the presidential candidate, the person of Atiku Abubakar. The way they were going about the other states campaigning together. So he now leave the burden on us, the
foot soldiers,
at home to do the campaign.
Okay, and now that
the
generals around.
Now that
the generals around,
the article is
behind us now. Behind us, right?
And they are in court. Then they have the full time now to focus on the state. Okay. That's why it's now moving from door to door, market to market, to seek for vote and to also solicit for the people's support.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
you made mention earlier on that most people or a lot of persons are going to make their votes in favor of the PDP because of the antecedents of the governor right here in Edo State. Do you think it's safe for us to ride on the backs of the governor rather than see what these persons who you have brought forth can actually do for the people?
Yeah.
Because it's not the governor that are going to be in the House of Assembly. It's the people. You understand? Your candidates that are going to be there, not the governor himself.
Not the governor himself.
Right.
So the thing is that you talk about the governor not being seen campaigning, which people expect him to do. The governor campaigning for his candidate doesn't mean that he's going to be they're going to roll on the governor's back. No, the candidates themselves have their own part, which they have played in imparting life on the people, which they have seen in them. So by so doing, I believe the people also know the candidate. They have played a very bigger role, which they have seen in the past. That is the reason why I'm so confident that the people are willing to vote for the PDP.
So I think I should draw something from that. Let me come to you, my brother, Engineer Fidelis. I think I should draw something from that. Remember the last, there was a point in time when the former governor, Adams Oshiomhole, came out to say that most of these candidates are not as popular as they are, that most of them rode on his back, on his popularity to get to where they are. I recall. Do you think this one will still play out?
I don't, if I quite understand your position, is...
No, but he mentioned just now that those people are going to be there on their merits. You understand?
I wish that would help them. It would have been better, because I am afraid if they want to ride on the popularity...
It's your fear that has been with you since... I don't understand.
I'm afraid if they want to ride on the popularity of the governor, it depends on the definition of popularity. If I want to define popularity in my own context from where I vote, I think if he has a candidate there, he will fail woefully. But like he said, they don't even need to ride on his back. They are credible and popular.
Well,
that would have been better.
I wanted to come in. What do you mean by fail woefully?
I didn't interject you.
No, I'm trying to. I want to get that statement. Okay. The governor have a candidate in the place that you are vote.
No, maybe
that the candidate there will fail woefully. In what context are you trying to put?
I think you are not the one moderating. He's moderating.
No,
no problem. We'll come to that.
Okay.
Like I said, popularity of somebody may likely help.
Okay.
Yeah, it can. It can. When the person that you are riding on his back is actually popular. Because if we recall in 2015, we knew how Governor Obaseki came to become governor. The then governor claimed that he rode on his back to become governor. That is the definition of popularity. In this House of Assembly, for you to win election in any of the political party, you have to be popular yourself. You don't need to ride on the back of anybody. Obi won because of his popularity. He didn't ride.
Obi did not win any election.
I mean Edo here.
Okay.
He won Edo State. Because of his popularity. There was no one big figure in Edo who was supporting Obi, like past governor or whatever. But because of his popularity, he had majority of the vote in Edo. So for any House of Assembly member to win in this next election, next Saturday, the person had to be on ground and be popular for himself.
Okay, let me come back to you. How far do you think the popularity of Governor Godwin Obaseki will take the candidates of the PDP, 24 of them? How far do you think it can take them in the forthcoming House of Assembly elections?
When you mean popularity, I don't really understand what my honorable brother here mean by that. No, talking about popularity.
Just take the question on its own merit. Forget about your brother here.
I how do you define popularity? How are you popular? You know, propaganda, trying to destroy one, it doesn't mean that you are bringing down somebody down to make your party more popular or making the other person feel inferior.
Okay.
Popularity, it is when you have done something for the people, and when the people is seeing what you have done. Unlike, for example, you know, when I hear people saying that the governor have not done anything, he have not impacted life on the people, he have not done this, he have not done that. That is the reason why you see that. Somebody
said, vox populi, vox Dei, the voice of the people is the voice of God.
Yes.
Should the people be saying that? They are the ones that are in the streets. They are the ones that see what the governor is doing.
Not really the people now.
So who is
the opposition party?
Okay.
They are the one propagating it that the governor have not done anything.
Okay.
If you go out there, you definitely know that the governor have done enough.
To merit,
yes.
Maybe his party winning the forthcoming
House of Assembly election. The people knew that the governor have done something.
Okay.
Like the governor, you know, when the people, you know, when every government have his own agenda.
Of course.
Like, you see, the governor himself have his own agenda when he came into power.
Yeah.
Like, the agenda of the governor, his first top priority into industrialize the state by way of bringing in investors.
Okay. And you think he succeeded in that regard?
Is that all?
Do you think he succeeded in that regard?
Yes, he succeeded in that regard.
Okay.
Succeeded in the sense that when Oshomole came into power, Oshomole decided to be building on roads.
Okay.
You understand? Then when that was his top priority then, that let me start doing road. I believe that is what most people want to see.
Yeah.
When Caterpillar dance everywhere, even though the road did not last in terms of time, but they want to see that.
Let's not go into Caterpillar now.
They now forgot that there's another set, there's another
style of governance.
Yes, that there's another sector in government that they need to fix, which is the civil servant sector.
Okay.
Which the government is putting in place right now.
Okay.
If you look at the civil service, it has been in the state of dilapidating for a very long time.
And the governor, you think, in your own reasoning,
the governor is doing all that, and the civil servant, they are prompt payment.
Okay.
Before on the 25th, they got their money.
But it's the same
which I've never done before.
No problem. We are not here to argue. But
now,
it's like we don't have the luxury of time.
I know. Let me round up.
Just cap it.
You can see that with all those areas that he has touched, and with some roads that he has done, that alone have given him a credibility to his candidate to win any election in the state.
Thanks so much.
I'd like us to shift away from party politics.
But we don't have the time.
It seems both of them want to get at each other. Now, okay, well, from what I'm seeing.
Okay.
Now, let's look at INEC. Let's leave the parties now. How prepared do you think INEC is to conduct this election?
INEC?
Yes. Because we've got some feelers, some complaints over the last election.
And even your party complained.
Yes.
So, do you think INEC is prepared to conduct the March 18th election?
Like for me, I want to talk for myself, not party this time around.
Okay.
For what I have seen in the past elections, I don't really think INEC is really prepared for any election.
So you've lost your trust
You don't have
in INEC?
trust.
Because I don't have trust on them. I have lost confidence in INEC. I have lost trust on them.
Okay.
Because of what have happened in the past.
Okay.
You cannot tell me that what Nigerians have put so much tax payers money on, that it fails at the very dire minute. A thing that you just run and you told the whole Nigerians that you are ready, and now you have failed woefully. And you expect me to believe that you are telling me that I will still have confidence in that kind of system? No, I don't have confidence in that.
But they've postponed the elections for
now they have postponed the election.
Yes.
The only what we are going to do is for us to be very, very more vigilant this time around.
Okay.
To watch out of their shady deals that they want to do, which they have done in the past.
It's okay, no problem. All these things you are saying, all these things you are saying, they are yours, and maybe I had the right time, because even before you started, you said it's your personal view.
Yeah,
we respect your personal view. They are personal.
It's my personal.
Anyway, I think we need to draw the curtain here. We want to first appreciate you, Engineer Fidelis, for coming. And my brother, we thank you so much for coming. It's just that you didn't come in on time, but the little time that we shared together, we think we really enjoyed it.
Yes.
And it has to be next week.
Definitely.
My name is Thomas Adeoti. We'll see you next week. We'll remain yours faithfully, and I believe that by next week, there's still going to be other issues to discuss. Let's drop the curtain here. Good morning.